As a teacher, I always have to keep an eye on the education reform that's been occurring around me. Well, another piece of the puzzle has finally enlightened me. For the past decade or so, there's been this push toward college readiness. The assumption that every one of our students is going to go to college. And hence we have a tendency to load rather heavily the graduation requirements. You consider that in the past 25 years, the number of science classes, number of math classes, and so forth have increased in terms of our graduation requirements. Well, I teach both math and science, and so I often end up going to workshops to try to improve that part of my job. This week it was math, and specifically Algebra 2. The facilitators for my workshop basically came from academia, the people who teach college students. It comes to find out that a lot of which has been going on in terms of Algebra 2, the state standards and the state expectations and all the state testing associated with it, was actually designed to get people prepared for college. Basically, the test is basically an entry exam into college. This begs the issue. Are all of my students planning on going to college? Or worse yet, and this is what the Enlightenment came into play. Apparently the state pays large amounts of money to remediate students in college. I know they spend a lot to remediate high school students, but they spend tons of money in terms of remediating college students. And I found this to be stunning. You see, when I started college 25 years ago, my university, and I went to a state university, did not do a whole lot of remediation. In fact, during the freshman orientation, the routine went, welcome to the university such and such. Look to your right, look to your left. One of you is not going to be here next semester. The universities were basically a way of thinning the herd. Those people that are really serious about their studies, and those who are just there wasting money and killing time. Have we lost that selectiveness in terms of college? Are the universities letting in people that really shouldn't be there? Well, in the past decade or so, there have been official policies, and this has been going on for some time, to try to make college just as universal as high school. What you're ending up with is credentialism. The reason they say that is, we can't get a good job unless you have college. That's incorrect. There are all kinds of good jobs out there that do not require college. Now, they may require some form of vocational training, whether it be plumber school, welding school. I have some students that went off to welding school, and they're in the process of making more money than I am. And I have a master's degree. Or for that matter, truck driving. The boss, she's a truck driver. She makes almost as much as I do, and she makes more money than our beginning teachers. A job that does not require college education, merely training. So I wonder whether or not the universities, because again, it all comes down to money. The more people we get in college, the more tuition we can extract from people. But then they turn around and complain how much money they now have to spend to remediate and bring these individuals up to university level. It seems, though, the state's trying to have it both ways. And they have, again, like most bureaucracies, have confused quantity with quality. The more people we get in college and more people we get in these higher courses, the better we look. That way we can put other states or other countries to shame. We don't look at the quality of the people that are being brought into these things. These individuals who basically reduced down to a warm body. That's what's messed up high school education. As they increased the number of the requirements of having to be in school, the compulsory attendance, you have to be here. What you've changed is people who want to be there into simply warm bodies. And those warm bodies are not necessarily the ones that want to be there, and they're often the ones that make a teacher's job difficult, because they will do whatever it takes to aggravate and otherwise fulfill their agenda of getting out of doing what needs to be done in school. We don't even allow those people to go out and get jobs now. Maybe if they did go out and get a job, they would have an entirely different perspective of what it means to be educated, what it means to actually be prepared for an adult life. But as said, I teach upper-level math and science courses. Is it necessary for every kid going through to take those upper-level courses, even if it's really not important to them personally? Just another thought in terms of the Debacle Witches education reform.